go to the whole link. For some reason I'm in the hoops in YouTube account.
Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Goldberg. Welcome once again to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. We've got an incredible night of fights lined up for you this evening, and we are just about set to open the Octagon gates. My partner, as always, Joe Rogan. Joe, how great are these matchups this evening?
We've got some awesome fights here tonight, Mike. There are so many fighters competing, and the divisions are so deep in the UFC that any one of these matchups could end up being fight of the night. This is just a sick card, and I am very excited to see all the fights this evening.
So, my partner, and if you're a fan of mixed martial arts, so should all of you. But before the fights begin, let's take a look at our rules of the Octagon. 3 judges will score the bout duration 3 5-minute rounds.
Let's go over the rules of the Octagon here. I got a couple of bites left in my food.
We begin our night with a light heavyweight showdown between Lights Out and Lefty.
Nah, you good, man. I got like 2 bites left. I had a chicken burger. I'm eating a bagel. An everything bagel.
Fighting out of the blue corner is Lefty, a physically imposing. Standing across from him in the red corner is Lights Out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. And now,
starting off here in the light heavyweight division, we have the most recently booked fight, which is Sagandi Legend versus G Breezy.
Heavyweight division. This man is a Muay Thai, and now fighting out of. And when the action begins, gentlemen.
G Breezy at 1-2 so far, looking to get back to an even record. Sagandi Legend started his career 0-1 against Joe Lightning in his debut. Both men starting at the fight pretty slow. I was realized I'm not in the right stream. That'd be helpful. Quick striking exchanges there from Sagandi Legend in the lighter gray trunks, G Breezy, and I think that's more of like a navy trunk. I'm a little bit colorblind, so I'm bad at that kind of stuff. Nice counter left there from Breezy. Breezy with one win in his career against Javon Ward in a late round 2 knockout. Has suffered losses against Bob Loblaw and Jay Luss, both of those competitors going against each other in the title match in our main event. So obviously he's lost, but he's lost to some of the best talent around so far. Apologies, you can hear that. I was really thirsty and didn't have time to mute my mic. I was about to cough anyways. Both men just delivering some solid striking exchanges back and forth. A little counter here and there, but nothing too extreme. No knockdowns, no rocks. But the round will end on much of the same. Pretty even round there for both men. I'm sure one of them has a slightly better accuracy, and that's probably who has the edge in this round, but I'm not sure who it is. This round's brought to you by Flying Monkeys Beer. Crack open a Flying Monkeys Beer and have yourself a juicy time. I know. I think it's great. Just during the fight, they just got blood pouring down their faces. That was in response to saying that they retroactively added bleeding. Just had the TRC draft going on in the Russell Cup basketball server. I think just about anybody who would be listening to this is also in the Russell Cup server, but if you're not, then join on in. We're a basketball server. And going into our 9th season, which I think is pretty good for sim leagues. I'm not too familiar with sim league lore and how long they go for, but I think 9 seasons is pretty good. And we're still going strong. Solid right hand there from Sagandi Legend. Breezy did get done pretty dirty. It's funny because he looks just, I forget who it is, but he looks just like somebody else too because they have the same haircut and the same beard. They're very similar looking. And Sagandi Legend actually looks a little bit like Javi, as I are him. But he's got a little bit less of a fucked up face. One thing I do, one of my features that I'm actually looking at pretty soon, I've been talking about this one for a while, I think it's about time I get it going, is opening up more of the options, like the gear options and stuff. Not really the gear, that might be hard, but some of the other fighter options to be selected by the editor. Figured out kind of how to reverse engineer the game a little bit. I figured out how touch gloves works. That was the first one I got. I haven't got any of the other ones, but I am able to edit touch gloves now. Ones that are hard, I was trying to do, like I was trying to automate the editing of like the fighter intro, and because like it has like different camera angles, and the camera angles are also part of the intro, you also have to track that part of it. So there's like 7 different things you have to track. Oh, nice running knee there, right to the body. Like 7 different things you have to track, and that makes it take a long time. And so I kind of gave up on that, but I think some of them that are just like selections will be a bit simpler. It's a matter of finding them. Kind of taught me how to do that shit in university, but it was a pain in the ass, and I didn't like it then, and it's a pain in the ass. I don't really like it now. But I like the end result. Another pretty even second round there. I like that running knee. going to give him the round just for that running knee because I thought that was cool. But I have a feeling that whoever's kind of got the striking accuracy advantage has the round here, or maybe one of the fighters has, well, I can test a new feature here. One of the fighters has a striking advantage and they're doing a little bit more damage. So if we type in Sagan, oh wait, it's not going to do the stats. Just kidding. I have a fighter compare feature set up, but it currently only has the fighter records in it. So that wouldn't quite work the way I wanted it to, but I can just use good old card. G Breezy's got a lot of strength, so putting in some solid hits. Does not have really any striking offense going for it, though. One thing I don't understand, and I don't think really anybody understands, is how, like, strength and standing kicks offense work together and stuff like that. So obviously they're both sort of going to be like multipliers on your stats. But do those multipliers add together? Do they multiply together? How does that work? Who knows? And then on the Sagandi Legend end, oh, didn't want to let me go to the next page on him. There we go. He's actually quite split amongst a bunch of things. Got that standing kicks offense. Yeah, I think you do too, Elijah. I was taking a look at your player earlier. We can check that thanks to this new feature. I'm really happy with this feature. Oh, and a knockout! G Breezy. Ends the first fight in the middle of the third round. And I think that's going to come down to that strength. We see there, Sagandi Legend has standing kicks offense 10, strength 1. G Breezy has standing kicks offense 4. As well as I think some standings. No standing strength offense, but 25 strength. I think that 25 strength plays a big part in that knockout power. And we are going to see it right there. Yeah, Elijah Ippo with 24 footwork compared to the next fighter. Nice knockout. Solid counter right punch. Cuts under both the eyes of Sagandi Legend. He was just about ready to go. G Breezy moves to 2-2. Sagandi Legend to 0-2.
Has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 25 seconds. Up.
Big ass cut there above G Breezy's eye, but he'll take that. Excellent. Oh, that reminds me too. I completely forgot. I still have to re-sim for the stats of Jimmy Woo versus Azair him. Yeah, look at all the strikes in that fight. Holy smokes. That's a ton of strikes between the two fighters. 104 punches landed. 32 kicks landed. Both men taking a lot of damage. You can see Sagandi Legend, though, just a lot more damage overall. I think that just comes a lot from that strength of G Breezy. And he will be able to take that fight. Yeah, I know. I've meant to do this forever, and I never have. But like, test like some of our fighters against like BJ Penn, and just see if they get like completely hammered. Like it's just a one jab, and they'd go down. Yeah, I mean, we had, a 32-second knockout in KFM 5. I think Storm got knocked out by Ward in 32 seconds, something like that. So, you can certainly see it. This should be a pretty interesting fight, pretty early on the card. I want to see if these two I already had in mind to fight for a while. I want to see if they would call each other out. But it didn't end up happening, so I booked them myself. Dion Johnson versus Spiros Azalea, both guys 2-1. Looking to establish themselves perhaps as the next contender to whoever wins the title fight in our main event. We have a few guys who can sort of fill in that spot. If you look at the rankings, there's Arnold Abas. Jimmy Woo is also 2-1. Joe Lightning has a chance to go 2-0 versus Arnold Abas later in this evening, which also has major title implications. Speaking of titles, our co-main event is a #1 contendership fight for the light heavyweight title. So whoever wins between Doug Martinez and Elijah Ippo will be the #1 contender. Very likely the way to work out is the loser of that fight will get another chance to fight against one of the top lightweights for a #1 contendership spot, whether that is, it could be Sharab Rakdimilov, or however you say that. It could be Tantaguri Suji, it could be Yuji Itadori, whoever that ends up being. Both men start off. Spiros going to some grappling right off the bat. Sorry, keyboard, I gotta type here, because I don't think he's listening. I do plan on adding some sort of, probably by like the end of the, not by Sunday, but like by the end of the next 7 days, I'll add some sort of like daily collection system, so that people can earn a little bit more cash. I'll also give some people a little bit more maybe bonus cash on top of that, because like the people who could work, pretty much being me and Elijah, or the people who choose to work, are just going to get way ahead of everybody else, which is fine if we're a little bit ahead of everybody else, but we don't want to be too far. So making sure that other people have some more chances to earn. I'm almost done with my poll system, so I'm just working out a few kinks right now. So the thing that I almost have done alongside, so currently we have like the winners polls for the cards. Oh, nice little counter punch there from Dion Johnson. Pharaoh's got to be careful. We have the we have the card, like, so yeah, the polls for the cards where it goes all the winners, that is automatically. And then I'm just finishing the feature where we can do like most strikes landed and stuff like that. The only trick there is I just have to make sure that people are able to like select from every fighter on the card. And that it's not like too big of a message, because, you know, some cards might have like 16 people on them. That would be a massive message. So just making sure the message isn't too massive, making sure that all works out. So once that's done, we'll be able to get those polls going again. I just wanted to I was tired of doing them manually. I wanted to kind of wait until they were done automatically. And then another feature, once we get sort of more stats going and stuff like that, maybe look to get some sort of like trivia feature going, something of the sort. Just different ways of earning a little bit at a time. Yeah, Breezy does look like Spears. Well, first round. I was yapping for most of it, but some good back and forth action.
You gotta fight your fight. You gotta movements pissing them off. Okay, keep moving.
Another big fight tonight in the middleweight division. 3-0 Theodore Roosevelt takes on 2-0 Batbayur Suji. I think I'm deeming that a little bit of an unofficial #1 contenders fight. I didn't say it was a #1 contenders fight before, but I don't think middleweight really has any more competitors. So I think whoever wins that fight definitely establishes themselves as the top dog. One other thing I think I want to get done within the next 7 days, because I think it's becoming more of a pressing issue than I expected, is somehow evening up the divisions. So either moving some light heavyweights to middleweight or to heavyweight, or at the end of the day, the other thing we can just do is fold one of the divisions, either middleweight or heavyweight, because middleweight and heavyweight are much smaller compared to the rest of the divisions. I'd prefer not to fold a division. I'd prefer to move people, but if people are pretty stubborn about not moving, we have plenty of like tall light heavyweights that would do just fine in heavyweight. They're the same height as everybody else, so that wouldn't be a concern at all. I know Spiros talked about moving to heavyweight, but then he was sort of being wishy-washy about it, so I didn't book him there quite yet. The nature of the way the game works with the weights, though, it's not too intensive to move between weights. Like, I don't think there's too much of a need to have like a big system around it. Obviously, if you're moving down a weight, something might have to be done about that, but if you're moving up a weight, you just have to, you know, toggle the slider and they move up a weight, so that's pretty easy to do. Oh, knockdown, Dion Johnson. Spiros not quite able to capitalize. Dion Johnson looking pretty rough there on his face. You can see a couple big cuts. A nice counter right. Yeah, he's rocked. Spiros blocks the takedown. Dion Johnson, good effort there to go for the takedown. Force that block, though. He's looking for a big counter punch at this point to get himself back in the round, and it's not going to work. A pretty dominant outing there from Spiros Azealia. Dion Johnson looking pretty worse for wear after that fight. Spiros moves to 3-1. Dion moves to 2-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mario Yamasaki has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes.
Spiros Azealia, our second knockout of the evening. Spiros definitely needed that after his loss to Bob Loblaw in the #1 contendership fight. Had dropped his stock just a little bit. That win will definitely push him up a little bit more. Might be due for a fight with the winner of Joe Lightning and Arnold Abas to determine the next contender for the light heavyweight championship. Make the fight. You're always challenging people in the lower weight class than you, man. Like I said, I'll figure that in. If Rose wants to move up and fight, I think that's probably what we'll do after this card. Is move into a couple of lighter cards, something like maybe a rematch card. I think we're due for a few rematches, cross-divisional card, that sort of thing. Just get some people some different matchups, or the same matchup, depending on if it's the rematch card or not. This is the name bowl. I had to book this fight at some point, right? This was inevitable. Radomir Dobronravov versus Sharab Ragdimilov in the name bowl. But it has pretty big lightweight implications for both men. Sharab at 2-0. If he moves to 3-0, that makes him an immediate contender for the title. Or immediate, at least, shot for a #1 contendership spot. Radomir Dobronravov, to a lot of people's surprise, started off his career 0-2. Looking to get back into a 500 after beating Levi Porter to move to 1-2. Starting off this fight on the ground. I forget what type of a fighter Sharab is. I believe Radomir is a takedown specialist. Let's start to take a look here. Profile. Radomir. Yeah, Radomir Dobronravov. Ground top defense, 28. Ground top offense, 14. So, and takedown offense, 24. So he's looking to get you down on the ground and keep you there. If we are looking at Sharab, we have a bit more of an all-around fighter, but also a bit more ground focus. So we're definitely looking for the ground on this match, which is what we've seen in the first 2 minutes. Both fighters definitely working the ground. I think a big thing for both these guys is they do have a little bit of cardio going for them. Sharab, with 20 cardio, has a little bit of an advantage. Just landed a big right hand from the top. Yeah, I think it's just pretty random as far as the things go. Like when I was taking the pictures of all the fighters so I could put them in the cards. That was like a huge issue I was having, because I would have to reload a fighter like 5 or 6 times to have it like to finally get the picture that had no texture on it. So it's just random. I don't think there's really anything to it, and I doubt there's too much we can do. I'm sure if you go into the Discord, they talk about it there, because I'm sure everybody else is having the same problem. So there might be a way to make it a little bit better. I know there's a way to fix the randomly appearing blood bug, because I remember seeing it at one point in like a thread, just like when I was in the Discord, when I first joined the Discord, somebody was talking about it. So I know there's a way to fix that, but I haven't looked at the Discord too much since I first joined, so I don't know too much about it. Pretty slow round, but decent technical ground fighting. A ground fight's always going to be a bit slower than a stand-up fight. And that's what we saw there. A couple solid strikes for both guys.
This is the round he's going to break. You hear me? You got to take it to him. You can dump him, you control him.
You good? Okay, he's tired. His legs are tired from trying.
Solid footwork there from Sharab, leading to a counter.
You got to punish him this time. Breathe. All right. Go to the body and press him back.
Are you ready, sir? Are you ready? Fight!
There you go. Beautiful.
Once again, fight's going right down to the ground.
Stay tight in there. Hold on the hip, kick him away.
Perfect work. Pick that leg up. Plenty of time. That's it. Come down with a good one.
I don't have as much commentary to do on the ground, because frankly I don't know as much about it. I can say half guard and full guard and all of that, but... Looks like Sharab has had a lot of offensive advantage from what I've seen. Debron Revolve might be suffering from a little bit of King Quinton syndrome here, where he's got his opponent on the ground, but he ends up on his back most of the time. Congratulations to King Quinton on not going 0-4. Ended up with the big win over Levi Porter.
Keep going. Keep him working.
Perfect. There we go. You've got better position. Explode.
Little fight against the cage.
Nice, nice. Perfect work. That's it. Go, move.
Yeah, you figure if you're playing that ground game, strength is important for those transitions. You'd have to figure that's what's giving you a lot of that advantage there.
There you go, nice. There it is. Break. Get that back and fight that 2-on-1. You get that bottom up, you gotta fight it off. You swim that arm over. Okay? You swim that arm over.
Opening up Moratorium in TRC to re-sign or accept some POs or TOs. I think a lot of the players that have re-signed have already signed extensions at this point. But there are some POs and TOs to take care of.
I need you to circle left and stay aggressive. Get that leg kick going. Get that.
Are you ready, sir? Are you ready? Fight! Last round! Watch the switch now! Yep, way to work! Push your way and get back to your feet! Yeah! Watch where you grab your legs! Put that elbow! Go! Put that elbow! Hold his hands down! Hold his hands! Push him offline and move your hips out!
This match destined for either a submission or decision finish. Don't think either man has taken too much damage so far. I would also guess that Sharab is winning just slightly. I think he's been definitely in the dominant position much more often than Radomir has, which I think is an important factor for the judges' decisions. I haven't quite figured that out yet, exactly what leads to the judges' decisions, but definitely this, like, the things you'd expect. Strikes landed, accuracy, dominant positions, transition reversals, damage done, all important. With 1 minute left in this fight, either man will try to lock in a quick submission, otherwise we'll go to time limit.
Push that knee and go past it. Let's go. Push him on. Get your feet on your hips. Perfect work. 30 seconds. Head movement. Hands up, chin down. Hands up. Hands up. Head movement. Hands up, chin down. That's it. There you go. Nice. He gives you that. Stop. It's over.
Here with just a few seconds left, that'll end the fight. Might walk away there for a second, but I'm back. I'm a drink. And yeah, not quite sure. I think we'll go to Sharab, but what do I know?
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score it 29, 28, 29, 28, and 29, 28, declaring the winner by unanimous decision.
Oh, Debron Revolve wins 29-28, 29-28, moves himself back to 2-2. Somewhat surprising result, but good for him. Sharab suffers his first loss. Took a little bit more damage. Debron Revolve, more reversals. Had more takedowns gained. Had a better striking accuracy by quite a bit. Had like a 60% striking accuracy versus Rakhdimilov, who had only a 40% accuracy. So I think that probably had a big part in it. And yeah, I mean, a decision's a decision. Not much else to say about that. It was 29-28, pretty close either way. Not smart enough to say anything terribly transcendent after a decision. If I was wiser. I've said this before. I watch a lot of wrestling. I watch a lot of AEW. And there's like Excalibur who commentates AEW. Man, he does not stop talking, and he like talks so fast. It's just like, how does he do it all the time? I get tired. This is the middleweight fight I was talking about earlier. Three-door Roosevelt versus 2-0 Bat by Arsuji. Whoever wins this fight, I'm going to declare it right now. I didn't make it official before, but whoever wins this fight, their next fight will be for the middleweight championship. So relatively large stakes here. And if the other person who loses this fight doesn't mean they're out of the contention, especially because of how light the middleweight division is, how thin the middleweight division is, they'll probably end up getting another chance. But for now, that'll be the way that it goes.
Fighting out of the blue corner is Blitz, dazzling crowds and his opponents with his standing across from him in the red corner.
There are a few other contenders in middleweight. We have Darius Walker. We have, although he's not around right now, he's still a decent fighter. Montel Clearwater has a decent amount of spent going on. Who else is in? OJ Rose, of course, is in middleweight as well. So there's not as many guys as like lightweight or light heavyweight, but there's a few there. It's heavyweight that's really thin. I think a lot of the heavyweights is left, so I think there's only like 4 guys in heavyweight or something like that at this point that are active. So that's the division that we're really struggling with. In heavyweight, we have Adam Mack, Zahid Shafiq, Olin and Megatroid Skittle, and that's pretty much, so yeah, really only 3 active guys in heavyweight, so I might we'll see how that goes. Hold on to it for now.
A jiu-jitsu fighter. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 185 pounds, fighting out of Kanagawa, Japan. Where the action begins.
Are you ready, sir? Are you ready? Fight!
Oh, big left hand to start off there from Tsuji. Quick way to start the fight. Tsuji in the default trunks. Roosevelt in what I think are green. I missed what I said. I missed what it said on the screen. Both men starting off on the top. I think Tsuji's a kickboxer? I forgot. I just fought him, but I forget what he was. It might be balanced as well. Roosevelt has been a submission specialist so far in his career. I don't think that's what he has intended for himself, but he's won 2 submissions and a decision so far, I believe. So definitely wearing his opponents down. Oh, a submission right away! A submission right away! Roosevelt is down. Tsuji has gone for the submission immediately. The triangle choke. He taps. Nino Roosevelt taps. What an upset! Bat by Arsuji. I don't think anybody saw this coming. I think he's got about $247 spent. I don't think he's really put too much into himself. But a submission specialist triangles him. Yeah, for real, the 2 overall, Bat by Arsuji. I have no idea. The tap within 2 minutes on the triangle. I wonder, I didn't see the exact sequence. Like, I wonder if, like, I know you can, like, submit out of a counter, so, like, I wonder if it was something like that. Yeah, 1 submission defense. Oh, no. Oh, no. Our quickest fight of the evening so far, a 2-minute submission loss. As Bat by Arsuji becomes the #1 contender in the middleweight division. That's insane. I'm pretty sure they're all clean wins too. Let me check the history here. I need to spell bat by error. There you go. What a monster.
Between Doom and the Bulldog.
I think this might be the last in the series, if I'm correct. Of all the people, all the lightweights of all of us that had to rotate and fight each other, I believe Tsuji and Itadori fighting and Ippo and Martinez fighting finished the cycle. So this is the second last fight of the cycle here as Tantaguri Tsuji faces Yuji Itadori. I think both these guys are huge. I think this is like a 6 foot and a 5'10" lightweight or something like that. So these are two really lengthy guys. Gonna get some striking in.
Fighting out of the blue corner is the Bulldog, an exciting fighter with outstanding cardio. He pushes the pace from start to finish. Standing across from...
Upgrade your submission defense, folks. This intermission is brought to you by Submission Defense. PRC with trade. Houston Rockets receive Peter Griffin. Philadelphia 76ers receive the season 10 from Philadelphia and the season 11 from Houston. It seems like there's a lot of control on that pick. Or no, I don't know. There's a lot of text there. I don't feel like reading it too much right now. But Houston Rockets receive a replacement shooting guard. Rockets needed a lot of bodies this season. They lost 3 of their players to retirement.
Red corner. This man is a karate fighter. He stands 6 feet tall.
Karate fighter.
And when the action begins,
Gentlemen, you ready? You ready?
Should be a good fight. I think both these guys are stand-up fighters. Should be relatively exciting. We have a nice blend of stand-up and takedown. Oh! An axe kick. I don't know if there's a UFC name for that. In wrestling, I'd call that an axe kick. A shot there from Tantaguri Tsuji. I was going to say, there's a nice blend between takedown and stand-up styles and lightweight. That is really fun. I find in light heavyweight, they're pretty much all stand-ups, and middleweight and heavyweight are just small divisions. So lightweight's got a nice balance. Tsuji definitely with the advantage to start this fight. Had that big axe kick to start, and then a couple of underhand rights. Honestly, if I were Papaya Tsuji, I would not upgrade until I lost a fight. At this point, you're 3-0. You gotta stick with what works. Oh, nice little jab combo there from. Forgot his name for a second there. Yuji Itadori. You see fighters starting, especially those boxers. I think Itadori is a boxer. Starting to put together those quick combos. Tsuji puts together one of his own. As soon as you get that third or fourth hit in is when it really starts to look like fighting, you know? You see a lot of the fights, it's just 1-2 punch or maybe a block and here and there. Once they start getting those real combos. Nice little kick exchange there. Solid round from both these guys. Oh! Tsuji taking advantage of that 6-foot reach. Itadori, you worry about his hustle. He was noted as saying this league was a little bit too much for him. I'm not sure exactly what he has to do, but watch this guy get punched and type about 25 keys in. But you know, if that's too much for you, then That's too much for you. You see a left cut on his face.
So you got to stay on balance. You've got to keep moving forward while you're punching. And you can't listen. Jab, okay? I don't want you to look.
Good, good, good. You're listening. Can you hear me?
Itadori tried to take advantage there. Sometimes you feel like they try to able to. That was definitely a fake from Itadori. And he got punished for it with the counter there. So I would definitely give that round to Tsuji. Tsuji felt like he hit a lot more impactful blows. The one thing I think that is hard to take into account that we've noticed is the strike impact. The strikes kind of always feel like they hit hard when they're a counter blow, but depending on the fighter's stats, they seem to hit, you know, harder or softer. So it's hard to say how hard each of those blows hit. I think these guys even have the same abs. They must have trained together.
1-6. Use your feints. Go. 1-2. Let's go. Push forward. Don't retreat.
Oh, Tsuji with a big lunge there with the left. That could have been really taken advantage of. He was clearly tired, but Itadori stays back. I will say as well, although I'm not a fan of names of previously established IPs, at least Itadori is fun to say. Tsuji exhausted, trying to get some hits in. Itadori was open, but not really able to take advantage. Oh, solid counter there from Tsuji. He's had those bigger strikes all fight. Itadori hasn't quite been able to take advantage. Takes the fight to the ground. That might be better for him. Moves into side control. Side control from Tsuji after the reversal. That big body up on top there. Just so large for a lightweight. I think he's 2 inches taller than the next tallest guy. Oh, I thought he was going to go for a submission there for a second, but just moves back into side control. That's one thing I wasn't actually able to perfectly recreate. Oh, 2 big left hands interrupting me. Those were massive left shots right on that already existing cut of Itadori. One thing I was going to say I wasn't perfectly able to recreate when I remade the bot was the height distribution, since they're actually not... I mean, they are kind of exact numbers if you look at the graph, but not quite, so... I did my best shot with estimating it, and then I changed the formula up a little bit, because I like math, and I wanted to change it a little bit. So the height distribution is actually slightly different now. Not really relevant to anything to do with this fight, but something I felt like rambling about. Really close to a submission here is Itadori. He's clearly looking to lock something, and I'm not quite sure what. It looks like he's maybe got a grasp of the arm. But the round will end. Tsuji once again with the striking advantage in the fight, but Itadori, once he took it down to the ground, definitely got some good position in there. Also ate a couple of left hands.
Hey, 5 minutes of hell, tighten your punches up.
Sorry, Stint will be back. Stint being not a menace in this league is like my favorite redemption arc. He's actually fine in TRC now too, to be fair. But he was like a menace when he first joined TRC. He was just very Stint. You know Stint. You know how Stint is. But he's so supportive and active and happy to be in this league. I love it.
Working your angles.
Punch and then move. Jab, jab, jab. Use that jab.
Little feints, little feints.
1-6. Don't chase it. Don't stand there.
Patience, patience. Keep stepping the outside.
No, I think we've learned you can't really sleep on the 2 overalls. Oh, a nice counter there from Suji. If they got the right build going on for them,
Step the outside. Keep control.
a 2 overall can definitely put in a little bit of work.
Hands up! Hands up! Throw that left right down the middle.
Both these men looking for a knockout here.
Action in there, Blaze! Keep pressuring him once you get him moving back. No. Throw your low kick. 19. Don't do anything sloppy. Double jab, straight hook. Let's go. Don't come up and take that. There you go. Get in there. Pressure as he's tired. Go with that right away. Press the hands. There you go. Watch the switch there.
Pretty slow. Neither man looking to give up too much of an advantage here. Moving into the clinch. I don't think either guy is really going to be able to take too much of an advantage here. Although it does just take one quick uppercut. If you're Itadori, I want to make some big moves. I think Sushi's got this fight going so far. He's had some pretty solid large strikes going on. Catches the leg, sweeps him down. You take advantage. Left hand, didn't get all of it. Losing his side control. A submission might get the job done here. I bet you both men are pretty tired. You can see that right arm and left arm pretty trapped there. Suji. He's able to get back into a guard. From the cough, sorry. Ooh.
1 minute.
Left arm inside.
45 seconds.
Get him backing up and make him pay. Shoulder pressure. Take your time.
Keep moving.
1-6-2-5. Don't stay in his range. Hands up.
Whoa, nice solid right uppercut counter there to end the round. I'm not sure who that's going to go to. Going to be pretty close. I will let the judges decide. I'm going to respond to Vontae's pin.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score it 29, 28, 29, 28, and 29, 28, declaring the winner by unanimous decision. Doom!
And Itadori Tsuji with the unanimous decision. I think that's the right call for the judges. Had the major blows overall. Moves to 2-2. Ojuji Itadori moves to 1-3. Might be falling out of the lightweight division in general. Is Itadori. Yep. I think that is it's just about right. We do have a call out in the lightweight division from Levi Porter. Maybe I'll bully him.
Coming up next, a light heavyweight showdown between Blitz and the Terrible. Fighting out of the blue corner is the Terrible.
We got Arnold A. Bass and Jimmy Woo here in the lightweight division. This is another title fight, or not a title fight, pardon me, but a fight that has implications going in towards who's going to get the first title shot between the winner of James or Bob LeBlanc.
Brutalizes his opponents with blinding combinations in a dynamic
Intermission once again brought to you by Flying Monkeys Beer. I'm getting early sleep tonight. I've been going to bed at like 3 or 4 a.m. the past couple nights because I've been so into these coding projects. I've been just like coding all night. But I am going to my friend's wedding tomorrow, as I mentioned in the TRC draft, so I have to make sure I have a good sleep so that I can drink the night away. Yeah, it actually is so fucking fun to make the bot. it's really good, and like, so this is like the best part of using ChatGPT is it gets rid of some of the really annoying things about making the bot. So like like stuff when it comes to like formatting the embeds and stuff like that is such a pain in the ass to do because you have to do it over and over again, and ChatGPT makes that stuff really fast so you can just focus on actually like making the features work and fixing like the problems and stuff, which is the fun part of coding. Like, nobody gets into coding so that they can type the same line of code like over and over and stuff like that. So it just gives you opportunity to do stuff. Like, I'm sure you've noticed, or people have noticed, like just how quickly I've been adding a lot of these features, and like a lot of that is only possible because ChatGPT is able to do so much of that formatting, so much of that like ugly part so much faster. Great tool if it's used right. If you abuse it, then it makes you stupider, but it can certainly make you a lot smarter. I have learned a lot about coding in the past 2 months that I would have never been able to learn without it, or at least I never would have had the motivation to learn without it. So it's a really valuable tool. Abas starts with a big right hand. Both these men, big strikers. Joe Lightning, a speed demon, has almost all of his stats into speed. Abas, a physical demon as well, a little bit spread out across a few different statistical categories. I think he's a little bit strength heavy, but we should see a pretty hard-hitting fight here.
Keep away from that cage. Try to get a takedown if you can. Don't stay in his range. Let's cut him. We gotta cut him. What comes behind that? Wrestle off the fence indeed. Body shots when you're in there tight. Shoulder pressure, get tight. Follow up.
Breaking exchanges to start this match. Yeah, like what I was saying there in chat as well. Definitely, I haven't really been in any, like, I haven't been in any rush to expand because I don't feel like dealing with, 10 to 20 people's needs while I'm also focusing on coding this bot. But I'm just about done, like, the main feature loop of really what I intended to do. There's obviously, there's obviously things that are always going to need to be added here and there. Like, there's always little things or little features that are going to come up. But I have most of what I wanted. Like, I wanted an automatic, like, payment loop. I wanted an automatic, like, stats loop so you could see, like, records and rankings and stats and all that sort of stuff. So one thing I still have to add there is all, like, the more advanced stats, like the punches thrown and stuff like that. I just haven't done that so far because it hasn't been necessary for my framework. And then as well adding just, like, more opportunities for earning and engagement, stuff like that. So I have that going with the polls. And then I probably need about 1 more week. And then hopefully by the end of the week, I'll have, like, a few more poll stuff, maybe like a trivia thing, like a daily claim, just a few more things to get going like that, and then just hoping people make some media and stuff like that. Is really the hope in that case. Another thing I can do there is I can publicize. I have those, like, faces and pictures and stuff. I can make those public. We should really just make the whole drive public, because we can just make it view only, and people can't edit it. Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's the goal in any league, is to get people to watch things that aren't theirs. That's hard at anything. I mean, you can get people to watch PRC playoffs, stuff like that, for sure. But even your average regular season game's only going to have 3 tops a lot of the time. That can always be a tough one. I think there's people, too, like, that are into MMA. Like, at the end of the day, with the way that we've, the people that we've had so far, we're trying to get a lot of basketball people into MMA, which, like, it just so happened that I kind of fell for it right away. I didn't expect I'd like it so much. I think there's a wrestling aspect to it that I really enjoy, that sort of made me fall for it right away. But at the end of the day, if you're into basketball sim, you might not be into UFC sim, which is fair enough, but I bet you there's a bunch of people that are into UFC sim that would be really into this sort of thing, especially while we've got an almost fully functioning bot and solid league cycle and stuff like that. I'm pretty much always good for 2 cards a week at the very least, and I think we're usually get good for at least like 3. So yeah, I think there is still a huge one, to be honest with you, because I don't know if they play or sim, but like that's kind of like what a big part of that UFC server is. Like, there's a UFC modding community server, and there's also definitely like a league that is like in that server. Yeah, the betting definitely helps, which is part of like the stuff that I want to try to get done within the next week. The thing with like the polls are easier because they have like fixed amounts. As you get into like variable amounts where, knocked down there, Joe Lightning, Arnold Abas. Not going to be able to end the fight there. As you get into variable amounts, like with bets and like people betting, I don't know, $25 or, $37 or whatever, it gets a little bit more complicated because you have to check to see if like they have the money, and if they don't have the money, debt, and it gets a little bit more complicated when it comes to that sort of thing. So it's definitely possible to do. It just was not on my like short list of immediate things. But I like betting as long as it's properly done. Like, I personally don't like to bet. Like, I'm not a bettor, but I like the concept of it as far as an engagement thing. Quick jab knockout. I love those knockouts. Straight off the nose. Right off the nose. Arnold, the terrible Abas, moves to 3-1, major contender in the light heavyweight division. I think he already was the Jay Lust, so he's in a pretty good spot in the light heavyweight division. Joe Lightning moves to 1-1. Good place to be as a relatively new fighter.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Smith has called a stop.
Solid win for Arnold Abas. Yeah, the Abas strength. Although he did take a lot of damage. Look at that, Abas, yep. He was not necessarily, he's got that head damage, but yeah, that 100% for Joe Lightning. He was just getting beat down. Not enough speed to evade those punches. Went against the big swinger. It's hard to say with those ones, eh? Like, I think that kind of comes down to the randomness of it too, right? Like, I always say that in 2K. At the end of the day, we're playing a video game, so we're expecting things to turn out the same. But if things turn out a little bit differently every time, then that's actually a good thing, because that's how real life works. It took us a long time. We all remember the 2K20 sims.
Coming up next, it's our
Where, like, so and so would shoot like the exact same shot, and you knew that shot was in every single time, no matter what. If it's changed up a little bit, and you get a little variability, where one game you go 1-7, another game you go 6-7, that's a good thing. And moving on to our co-main event, number 1 contendership fight, light heavyweight, Doug Martinez, Elijah Ippo. Some major bodies. I'm pretty sure you could just about call this the championship fight, but we didn't, so we're not going to. I'm not going to make it the championship fight right now. One of these guys will have to chase their way back up to the number 1 contendership fight, and one of them will earn it.
Fighting out of the blue corner is the Kid. With explosive one-shot knockout power, he's capable of finishing any fight quickly. Standing across from him in the red corner.
Two of the better-looking gentlemen in the league. Some dapper chaps. I was like particularly nervous for my first fight for some reason, and I don't think I've really been that nervous since. I don't know why I was so nervous for my first fight. I guess I just like didn't want to lose to start. There was a lot of hype around the first event, maybe. And since I have not been quite as nervous, I'm quite excited for this action. Also, maybe it helps that I'm the booker, so I know that even if I lose, eventually I'll make my way back there. I am Vince McMahon. I am Dana White. So.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner.
Actually, maybe a more apt analogy might be that I'm Triple H.
At 155 pounds, fighting out of Woodbridge, Ontario, Canada, and now. And when the action begins,
Woodbridge, Ontario. I want it to be Sault Ste. Marie, but Woodbridge will have to do. That's still a nice little Ontario showdown. Here we go. Two strikers. Fight should stay mostly on top. Both men in almost identical trunks. Either man has fought in quite some time. I think it's been at least 3 or 4 events since either man has fought, so we have not seen too much of them in a bit. You can see the size advantage for Ippo, absolutely huge compared to Doug Martinez. Controlling that clinch so far, both men stuck in the clinch. Doug Martinez gets him up against the side of the cage. Both men fighting quickly for control. I'd normally be bored about this fight. That's me. We got Elijah Ippo with a right hand there. Let's say normally bored with my own fighter. Striking exchange for both guys. Neither really come out on top, but Ippo hits a couple big right hands there. Major shots. That reach advantage is sort of that X factor that can't really consider on top of the ratings. At least a 4-inch reach advantage, I think, for Ippo. Solid right hand counter. Ippo looks so big compared to Martinez. Like, he just looks so colossal. I know Martinez also has a slight frame. Ippo has a pretty wide frame. They just look like different athletes entirely. Solid strikes there from Martinez. Both men have hit pretty solid strikes at this point in the fight. I don't think either of them is really too much of an advantage. Ippo definitely using that reach, getting those jabs in. But Martinez has been able to move his way inside, just there. Although a nice counter right there from Ippo. Goes for a kick, spinning back kick. Oh, took that jab off from both guys. Ends up with a forearm shiver there from Elijah Ippo. Those are 4 or 5 jabs back and forth. Oh, big counters, big strikes from Ippo to end the round. I think I'm definitely going to give that round to Ippo off those counter strikes. Close round, certainly.
He's out wide. You can come up with the uppercut. Okay? So after when he backs up, he's going square. So you got to
Work off those punches. Remember, defense and offense.
You see Martinez just jumping in there trying to get those strikes. That footwork paying off. Look at all the blood on my face. That's awesome.
All you need to do
It's covered in blood. It's a good sign for Ippo.
Gentlemen, ready? Ready?
No, definitely had those steps back on the footwork. You'd wonder if it would matter against somebody with a longer reach, but when you have the reach advantage and you can use that footwork, get those steps back. Quick little jab combos there from Martinez. But 3 or 4 consecutive strikes there. Oh, knocked down as Martinez on the counter blow. Gets himself right back up. Gonna put him into trouble come decision time. I don't think this fight's gonna get there, though, to be completely honest with you. I think one of these men is going down. Hey, now I'm getting a little nervous after the knockdown. Martinez in the clinch. I think Martinez definitely seems to have the advantage in the clinch, has the slight strength advantage. Seems to be able to push Ippo back to the cage, which is kind of funny because Ippo. If you're Martinez, you're just looking to dive in whenever you can. You've countered big once, you don't want to get countered big again. Nice right hand. Ippo playing it pretty carefully. Might be getting a little bit tired. Both men have been swinging both their strikes pretty strong so far. But just the way that Ippo's playing it defensively, I think the AI might be looking to rest. 3 big strikes there from Martinez. One of the only fighters in the league that pulls that off consistently. Nice overhand right there from Ippo. I think both men are probably a little bit more damaged than they're giving off. There he goes. Doug Martinez goes out with the left. Elijah Ippo with the knockout. Both men now at 3-1. Elijah Ippo moves to the #1 contender spot in the lightweight division. Doug Martinez. I think we're almost out of like unbeaten fighters at this point. Bob Loblaw is 3-0, but Theodore Roosevelt just lost. Doug Martinez lost. I guess Bapayar Suji is 3-0. But very quickly, all these undefeated fighters going down. The left hand knockout blow. I think he opened the cut on the blow too. I don't think that cut was there before.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Josh.
And yeah, just a bit more damage. Like I said, both guys a little bit, I think, more damage than they were giving off. Both men were pretty close to a knockout, but those big counter blows from Ippo. And you can see it when it comes to the accuracy on the strikes. I think he had that reach and was able to take a lot more advantage of that overall. When it came to those counters, Doug Martinez had to dive in a lot more. And it led to his ass getting knocked out. And with that, we'll move on to our main event and the first title fight in Kimura history. He is 3-0 here. Yeah, so Bob Loblaw would be the first 4-0. I think there's... I just... now. That are at least ones that have 3 fights. Like, Bob Loblaw is 3-0, and Bapayar Suji is 3-0. But Teddy Roosevelt and Doug Martinez both just lost, so... that is their streaks done.
Is Boom Boom. With an unbreakable will and outstanding cardio, he uses his wrestling skills to put it. Standing across from him in the red corner is Danger, a knockout artist known for his...
Bob Loblaw? Yeah, Bob Loblaw just this diff in general is pretty insane. I mean, at least the two of us were close because we both have earned and gotten some money in. But that's this is like Jay here is pretty far ahead of a lot of these light heavyweights.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man is a wrestler. He stands, and now, fighting out of the red corner. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of this contest.
Here you go, guys. Are you ready? Are you ready?
What is that like? I have no plans to announce this. I should have thought of that beforehand. I guess I'll just put it in announcements for now. Is there a Champions channel? Yeah, there is a Champions channel. Okay. Put it in the Champions channel. Both big boys. Going big boys here. Jay Luss and Bob Loblaw rock right away from Jay Luss. Able to get some pounding strikes in. And 40 strength from Jay Luss. Knocks him down right off the bat. Gets him down on the ground. Bob Loblaw able to cover up, but takes 2 cuts on the left side of his face. I think Jay Luss has 40 strength. He's the only person with 40 in any stat. That's for sure. I know that. Bob Loblaw won a lot of his fights on the ground with his submissions. Jay Luss in complete control here. Bob Loblaw able to get a reversal. I know Jay, and I know he'd rather not have this fight being close. He likes to win, and he likes to win easily. Bob Loblaw pulls him right back down. As long as Loblaw is able to get this fight down, I believe he can pull out a submission win. That's how he's gotten a lot of his other so far. The issue is if he gets up and gets his ass knocked by Luss again. But he has some time to recover from that early blow. He definitely does not want to let. He's got to be careful for the start of the second round. That's for sure, because he's going to be back in that same position. Jay Luss able to get back on his feet. Loblaw comes in, takes 2 huge blows. He's not covering his face. He's just eating those shots. Oh, Loblaw takedown attempt blocked by Luss. Loblaw already tired. Oh, solid combos there from Loblaw. Gets about 3 or 4 strikes in. That line definitely goes to Luss, no question. But I think Loblaw did a little bit better in that second half than you would have expected based on the first half. That's for sure. Based on the first half, you thought the fight was ending quickly. Loblaw go 3 cuts on his face.
You start working.
Got to keep those hands up inside.
Sit down. Nothing, though. Hey, that's...
Got to prep my announcement. Congratulations to Blank on becoming the inaugural Knight of the Ring.
All right, ready to go. From start to finish. Hey, you never get the cage. You turn him. I want you to...
Here you go, guys. Are you ready? Are you ready?
I think it's what inaugural. There's an extra A in it. Oh, Luss once again. That's just what I talked about. The start of the second round when they're both standing up, rocks him right away. And he's out. Loblaw not able to get the fight to the ground. And we have our first champion. I don't think that's too surprising to anybody, but I think that sets up some good stories in the long run. Let me give him his little jerk here. It's better to have, you know, with the powerhouse at the top and everybody else going for the chase. It sets up better storylines that way, you know, and I think the league kind of naturally lends itself to that in the sense that, like, if you're the champion, you're going to fight a little less, and it gives other people more chances to earn and catch up to you. But that being said, Jay Less did earn his spot, got up to the top, and is now your inaugural light heavyweight champion. Just look at that. Yeah, 31 strikes, 93% head damage. Just absolutely colossal striking ability. And to be fair, like Jay Less has a lot spent, but also Bob Loblaw was not covering his head. Like he was eating those strikes. Like if in the last fight, like Martinez versus Ippo, like they had have been eating those strikes like that, they would have also gone down a little bit faster. Like he was absolutely eating those. So I don't know how you not do that, but yeah, that would also be something I recommend. Not doing that. But yeah, congratulations to Jay Less on being the first champion. So definitely no card tomorrow. Unfortunately, I know it's a Saturday, but I will be at a wedding all day. So unlikely that's getting done unless somebody else wants to set it up. Might have a card on Sunday though, something light, something maybe like a rematch card or a cross divisional or something like that. Something I can set up quick that doesn't have too much thought put into it. And yeah. That's it. If Eli wants to do the last highlights here, but I think that's just about it for me. That was pretty fast one too. It was that an hour and 20 minutes.
This is truly the fight of the night.
Well, you know, Mike, both these guys are very talented. They both came into this fight well prepared and were ready to go to war. I think that's what we saw here tonight. Two guys looking to establish themselves as the better fighter. In the end, it was a highly entertaining fight for us to watch, and I'd love to see them go at it again.
An outstanding performance turned in. In fact, this is our knockout of the night.
Man, I tell you, this has got to be one of the most brutal knockouts we've ever seen here in the UFC. He got caught right on the button and was put to sleep.
Hey, wait. Let's actually really quickly see the polls here, because for KFN 3, people voted horribly. The most that somebody got was 3 out of 5, and most people were 2 and 1. A lot of the underdogs won. In this case, Jay Less won, and he was definitely the favorite. Elijah Ippo won, and he was the slight favorite. Arnold Abas won as the favorite. Tendagori Suji won as the underdog. Sharab won as the underdog. Batbayar Suji won as the underdog. I'm the only person for Batbayar Suji. Go me. Spyros won as the favorite, and G Breezy won as the favorite. So there were a few underdogs. I think I just said 3 out of 8 underdogs there. So
back here inside the octagon.
Solid. And that'll be it. Thanks, Elijah, as always, for streaming and setting up the card. Thanks me for coding the bot. Thanks all of you for paying attention. And that's it.